Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night, no!
You're out there somewhere, Beer Baron, and I'll find you.
No, you won't!
Yes, I will.
Won't!
Psst. Hey, what you doing? Pooping?
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fucking fine.
Turn camera.
Marked.
102, take one.
With overlap, action please. Action awesome please.
Just do anything?
No, it's sorry, cut.
Yeah, rolling. 102, take two.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello.
Hey,
Welcome.
welcome.
I am very fond of your cat ear headphones you have on today.
I found these at Goodwill for $40. No, like these are like real people headphones that come in a Weeb approved like big fucking box.
Yeah, that's a big
But
ass box.
I looked these up on as you can see, $39.99 at Goodwill.
Nice.
I looked these up online. Apparently they retail for like $120.
Holy shit.
So I was like, shit, yeah, I've been needing new headphones for a while. Because these ones that you've seen me in before, these blue ones, I got these at a yard sale for $3 4 years ago.
I have $3.
I have $3. What can I get? Pair of headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The worst part is like every time I even hear like that see, without fail, all I can think of is fucking American Dad when Roger's trying to annoy Haley and Jeff to give him all their money, and everywhere they go, he pops up like, nah.
Yeah.
Let's pull a comment.
Behold, a grown man weeping.
He hit me with a chair. Of course I'm crying. So before we get into the show, I meant to text you earlier, but I think we're going to kind of dive into that hidden gems movie thing. This show, because we have a shitload to talk about. But I sent you a voice message the other day, yesterday.
You did.
That we were going through my grandparents' shed. It hasn't been touched in about 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we had thrown away a lot of stuff. We kept like 15, 20 boxes of stuff for Mom to go through. Like we found like my grandmother's old like cardigan sweater,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a bunch of old stuff. We found these classic vintage Coca-Cola glasses that were in there.
Nice.
There's also giant ones that I have at the house too. They're like triple the size of this thing. It's monstrosity. It's a monstrosity. But
is that just Coke or is that a rum and Coke glass?
It's actually neither is iced tea.
Oh. Saturday night, what are you doing?
At some point, there will be rum and Coke in there, but not tonight.
There you go.
And this is the thing that I specifically wanted to show you. This
can I make a prediction on what I think it is?
Because I gave you a couple like one major hint. I said it was a paper product.
Yes.
But
which kind of confirmed my suspicion on what I think it was.
So you might know what it is, but I don't think you'll know exactly what it is. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. Like you could guess what I think you're gonna guess, but I don't think you'll know exactly what this thing is that you can't see out of camera right now.
All right. I'm going to make an honest to God prediction. This is something that has been sticking out in my brain literally like for 2 decades at least. I know that years and years and years ago, like at least 2 decades ago, I lost a spiral bound notebook.
I can already tell you that it's not what it is.
It's not? Fuck.
It is.
Never mind.
It is not a spiral bound notebook. It is a book, but it's not a spiral. It is not a spiral bound notebook. It is from the year of our Lord 1995. As a matter of fact, May of 1995.
Oh boy, it's a yearbook, isn't it?
No, it's not a yearbook. I have those too.
I know you do.
But this, in this particular tome of mystery I have, we can find out from this the latest info on Mortal Kombat 3, as well as Primal Rage and the Secret
Did you
of
find a whole bunch
Evermore.
of Nintendo Powers?
It is a Game Players magazine.
Oh wow.
Way back in the fucking day.
That's in immaculate condition.
I know, right? Like there were so many things that were like torn apart by mice and whatnot, but like the fact that like there's nothing chewed at all in this book. It actually still has
There's a little card.
The cards inside of it.
Sounds cool.
And you can buy True Lies featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger for your Genesis system if you wanted to. I'm sorry, not the Genesis. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, the Game Boy, and the Game Gear, which I forgot was a thing.
Well, yeah. Oh my god. How could I forget with how many AA batteries you needed to sacrifice to it? Like and that. Like the number of AA batteries I had to give to the Game Gear in my youth was probably my earliest exercise in learning about tithing.
But yeah,
give 10% of your energy to the gear of game.
Yeah, and all of the games that are in this, it has a lot of. We have some of the classic code breakers that were used, the cheat codes for certain games.
Oh hell yeah!
Mega Man X2 for the Super NES.
Makes sense.
Power Rangers.
Mega Man X is a fucking amazing game.
Power Rangers for the Sega CD.
Oh boy, Sega CD.
That was
not forgotten.
That was long before the PlayStations. That was the beginning of the.
I think that might have been right around when discs started.
Yeah.
Mega CD release date.
So okay, so real quick, I want to see
October 15th, 1992. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That was way earlier than I thought. I mean, that's the US release date. When was PS1? September 9th, 1995.
But just to prove something real quick, how not a lot has changed in the last 30 years. Let's see. I'm going to kind of go through here. Let's see. Okay, so Madden Football 95 cost $56.
Yeah.
And then there was games for the Neo Geo. I don't remember. I don't even remember what the Neo Geo was. Probably because the games for it cost between $69 and $569. That's probably why I didn't have that. Oh, sorry, no, I'm sorry.
One game?
Sorry, the
Yeah, yeah.
system. The system cost $569. It cost less than a PS5. That is hilarious.
Okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
Oh, what the
It was
Neo Geo?
the Neo Geo was slightly before my time. It came out in 1990,
Oh, okay.
so it was still slightly before when I got into right. It was like right around when I got into video games. My first exposure to video games was like in kindergarten. It was like PC games. It was like some Disney game.
Yeah,
And I
this
just
is
like crowded around other kids watching like an adult play it on a computer. And it was all downhill from there.
let's see. The Sega Saturn cost $500.
Yeah.
The Sony PlayStation costed $429. The Sega Saturn costed more than a PlayStation.
Yeah, I think that was also before they really knew how to price systems.
Yeah, because
Um,
even looking at it now, a PS5 costs less than a Sega Saturn did.
Yeah.
So so Game Player edition May 1995.
Wow.
I was 9 years old when this fucking magazine came out.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're old.
we are.
For those who couldn't tell by the speckled gray hairs in my beard
Oh yeah.
that are hidden by the big light, which I'm very happy. So one time the big light's my friend.
I wear a hat on purpose.
Yeah. So do I sometimes.
So I'm really dealing with it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what the fuck did Bobcat Goldthwait called it on his one special? He had a cowboy hat on. He called it his redneck toupee. It's
Like, it's my redneck toupee.
I'm not sure if you see my my nickname, Thor, but not complaining. I was trying to figure out, like I'm not as funny as you are with like thinking up these weird ass names on the spot. So all I did
On the
was
spot, it's the reason it takes me like 3 minutes to log in.
I
2 minutes and 45 seconds of that time is me thinking up the name of just like, what's something good that I haven't done yet?
I hopped on Google and I Googled the list of Colin Mockery's news anchor names from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, nice. I'm Thor, but not complaining.
So yeah, there's a couple that were in contention. There was the one that won. There was Pierre because my bladder is empty,
Mm.
and then there was Oswald that Enswald.
Well, what's funny is one of our previous shows I did the name Packed Nicely. And
yes,
that was where that was from.
Also one of Colin, it was also one of Colin Mockery's names.
It's like,
yeah,
I'm packed nicely.
Lars Pants on Fires was another one that it's, and then the one that was from an outtake that I remember I saw on some like hour-long compilation video of Whose Line outtakes, and it was hello, I'm quite hung. It's
hello, I'm quite hung.
Yeah, it's also Twice Nightly, West filling more taste, Lars of the Mohicans, and Keith, my pasty white butt, are some of my favorite ones. That he's
I like that one.
I came across, funny enough, a video on YouTube. Was it YouTube? No, it was Facebook Reels. And it was Seth MacFarlane. I think he was on Bill Maher's interview show, and he told this joke that he saw on Twitter, and he thought was the funniest thing that he ever saw, and he was laughing before he even said it, and then he said it, and I think because both him and Bill Maher were laughing hysterically at it, it made me think it was funny, like one of those things, like is the contagious laughter, but it was That guy in the intro to Superman that says it's a bird. What was he so excited about? And it's it's so fucking stupid that you can't help but at least give it a chuckle, kind of like when Rob made when I was having an issue with the makeup at work, and he was like, "Is Lynn having a problem with Hughes?" And it was just a. All right, I laughed at that, but I'm hanging up now.
I was telling Gwen about something earlier from our youth, and I can't remember who it is in our friend group who said this, but the song "Yellow" by Coldplay was on while we were driving, and I sang the parody of it that I learned from my youth was, "I went to the store to buy a troll for you. You said you wanted blue, but they only
He only
had
had
yellow."
yellow.
And I know for a fucking fact that I heard this from somebody. It wasn't you, but it was at your house.
Yeah, that's that. You're asking me to go back way far at this point. I can't.
I think that might have been Rob too.
It could have been. It could have been Rob. It could have been Matt.
I think it was one of those two.
It
That's
wasn't
their brand.
Marco.
It's their brand of weird, of like, and because that song didn't come out till we were in high school. It had to have been one of the times that I was back in town.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
makes it even more. I'm like, I can't ask anybody. I'm like, which one of you fuckers said this funny thing that is stuck in my head for 20 years?
And it's not, it's not Marco. He's not that funny on purpose. Marco's accidentally funny. Like that's like he just says things and does things that make you fucking chuckle.
Yeah. I love him.
Which is why I wanted to get Spaceballs the shower curtain for my house. So when he comes to my house for the first time and asks to use the bathroom, when he walks in, I can just hear him go from the bathroom.
Got a very distinct laugh.
Marco, I love you. If you're not watching the show,
the boisterous laughter that comes with a love for life.
Yes. He got me one time. He got me. Yeah. Once that I can remember, like vividly,
No.
and it was in the studio. We were interviewing somebody. He was late coming on the show, and he was a wrestler, and he used to carry a head with him. And his theme song was "What's Everybody Want?" Everybody yelled out "Head!" and he used to fucking bang
Oh,
this fucking mannequin.
I remember that.
And we were supposed to interview him, and he was a bit late calling in, and I was getting kind of like aggravated about it. And then he finally called in like 10 minutes late, and we had a great interview with him. And he hung up the phone, and I was like, I feel really bad now because I got so mad. And Marco, without missing a fucking beat, goes, "Sometimes you have to wait to get head," and it got me so fucking good. And he said that like 11 years ago, and every single time we hang out together, he reminds me of the one time in 11 years that he said something so off the cuff funny that it made me laugh, genuinely laugh so fucking hard.
I mean, it's a good bit.
Well, it is, and because Marco has, and this is one of the best compliments I can give Marco. His sense of humor is that of like a Leslie Nielsen, where the shit that he says is so dry that sometimes you just can't not fucking laugh at him. Like it's just
it's on brand with like, who are you? How'd you get in here?
I'm a locksmith, and I'm a locksmith.
I'm a locksmith.
Yeah, it's there's a scene from one of the later movies that he was in. It was the superhero
Like
movie.
a little person at a urinal. I was going to have to stay on my toes.
Yes, it's. I forgot all about that fucking line. Nice beaver.
Like a blind man at an orgy. I was going to have to feel things
around. Yes. There's a scene from superhero movie that he did. Awful movie. Awful
Yeah.
movie. Had Drake Bell in it. Had Kevin Hart in it,
Yeah.
and he played Drake Bell's dad. And there's a scene in it where Drake Bell thinks he's bitten by like a radioactive dragonfly or some shit.
Yeah, I think I know the scene you're talking about just because I think TikTok suggested it to me, and I just
And
watched it because of Leslie Nielsen.
yep, and he has the fucking nail gun, and he fucking shoots it at him, and he catches the fucking nail. He's like, "How'd you do that?" He's like, "Oh, this is really easy." And he just turns and shoots Kevin Hart with it, and he goes, "No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's just the subtle, just turning, just boom. No, it's not."
Yeah,
And
Kevin Hart is basically just a literal punching bag in that scene.
he is. Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him in that movie. I mean, he's a punching bag in most movies that he's in. Fucking Jumanji was eaten by a goddamn hippo.
Was he? I didn't watch the movie. I don't know. So many people recommended it to me
It is
that
good.
I kind of developed an aversion.
It is good. There are. Sorry for yelling. There
No problem.
are a couple very nice nods to Robin Williams in it, which I think is super cool. But yeah, like his weakness is bread, and like they're handing out like rations at this market, and he eats a piece of cake, and he's fucking explodes.
He's got celiacs.
It's
Radioactive celiacs.
it's oh, let me pull up a list real quick as we're going to talk about hidden gems and underrated movies. And I think you and I will have a lot of movies that we feel are underrated. It's, one of them is not superhero movie. That is rated just as much as it should be. Not under, not over, just right.
It's just rated.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just what it's supposed to be.
It's there.
It's
a movie.
Yes,
It's a movie. It displays on the screen
it's-
for about an hour and a half. You just have to or just see a movie so bad you can't help but wonder how like the journalists have to like spin it positively, and they just like turn it into like basically a middle school book report. This movie was on the screen, and boy was
Yes.
it on
We're
the
just like,
screen.
we saw this.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's go see it or not. Maybe if you have a coupon, go see it. If not, wait till it's streaming on whatever streaming platform you choose to watch movies on.
Yeah,
I watched
or they'll
super underrated, in my opinion, like, it's a really underrated movie that I don't think people know it's even out or even existed because it didn't get a large amount of press. Is 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams.
I've heard about that news. I heard it wasn't it like kind of like a thriller.
Yeah, like it was one of his first like not comedies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say not comedy because even like the movies that weren't comedies, Good Will Hunting, Patch Adams, there was still the hint.
It wasn't a comedy or a feel good.
Yeah, it was straight thriller. And the thing about it is, like watching it even now in 2024, it is still creepy to think about because the whole plot of the movie is this guy that works in a 1 Hour Photo store becomes obsessed with this family to the point that he starts printing out duplicates of their family photos and has them in his house. And what makes it so unsettling even then and more so and even at the same time now is that you look back and you go, this could have really happened. Like there's
Probably
not
did.
exactly like there's not like you can poke the holes in most horror movies, most thriller movies. Like the chances of you running into a Jason Voorhees or a Michael Myers or a Freddy Krueger, it's not going to happen. I mean, it could happen the Jason and Michael thing. Freddy, not so much. Before he burned alive, then yes, you can run Freddy Krueger. But the Michaels and the Jasons and the Chuckies and
he's gonna come into your dreams tonight and pee in your mouth.
it's heard what you said, bitch. That made me sad, bitch.
But yeah, his character in 1 Hour Photo is very much just like could be a real person that exists, because you'd be absolutely lying to yourself if you think that folks that develop photos for a living back in like 70s, 80s, 90s, what have you, never made duplicates of photos for themselves. Because some college kids coming back from spring break with their disposable camera, and they don't even remember what they took pictures of. So how can they? And if they're like, "Oh my god, these pictures are so embarrassing," it's like we don't look at them. We just print them. Here you go. And then they could just say that. But meanwhile, they're like, "I'm gonna make 10 of these copies and mail them into magazines and blah 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 for money or whatever." I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But that was one that was like, holy shit! Like, yeah, this could be a real thing. And then the other one that he was in, another thriller one, was Insomnia. That was with him and Al Pacino. And I think if I recall correctly, he was a killer in that movie, which was a total 180 from the Robin Williams movies that we've seen. He's never really been like the psycho killer
Qu'est-ce que
in
c'est?
a movie. Ha 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 ha. It took me a second. I was, what the fuck did he say? And then remember I said psycho killer, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
that's what he said. It's like when I wasn't late the first or second show, I said man eater, and you're like, whoa, here she comes.
Yeah. That boy shall chew you up.
Whoa, here she comes. She's
anyway, Colin Oates is still around.
What is it real? Is it really?
Yes. For those that don't know, Colin Oates is a hotline you can call to hear Hall & Oates songs. Colin Oates. Let me find it. The hotline is still up. Is because I don't remember. Oh yeah. If you pick up your phone and you dial 719-26-OATES, OATES, you get a computerized woman's voice telling you what numbers to press to hear one of 4 Hall & Oates songs. That's it. Are you calling it?
Yeah, it's a 719
26 OATES. So whatever the numbers correspond to for OATES.
Welcome to Colin Oates, your emergency Hall & Oates helpline. To hear one-on-one, please press 1. To hear it go, please press 2. To hear man-eater, please press 3.
This is fantastic. Is it fun? This is that is great.
I love it.
I'm gonna save it on my phone now. Anytime I have a bad day, I'm gonna call Oates.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call in Oates.
Right. I'd like to call in some Oates, please.
I'm trying to find a lot of these these lists of underrated movies or movies I've never fucking heard of, so of course they're underrated.
Yeah.
Let's just stick. Let's stick to our forte, and we'll stay and we'll go the comedy realm.
Yeah.
Underrated comedy movies of all time.
And you mentioned Bobcat earlier, but the movie directed by Bobcat, God Bless America.
I actually have never seen it.
Oh, you are in for a treat. This is the kind of movie that I feel like you will sympathize with the main character so much.
No. I might have seen it. Is it the one where the kid is like a social outcast and he like wants to almost like fuck like it's almost like a Columbine situation or some shit. I remember there's something about it.
Yes
Hold
and
on,
no.
I have to look at.
It does involve guns, like a lot of guns. But basically, this guy fucking hates his life, hates everything about the people all around him, and
I did see this. Yes, yeah.
and decides, he doesn't want to live anymore, but decides that since he's going to do that, he may as well, indulge the dark thought of taking somebody out first and then dealing it himself. But then he just decides, why don't I just go around picking off all the people I just don't like? And I think it's one of those things where he's
did
like,
see
I'm
that,
going to
yes.
die anyway. Yeah, but then he has...
Sorry for yelling.
Yeah, he gets a sidekick.
Yep.
Without spoiling things, yeah.
Yep, I do remember this movie. I mean, even just I googled it, and just the screenshot of the trailer, I have seen it.
Okay,
I see the dude in the fucking Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, yep, I know exactly what movie this is.
Yeah.
So these are, and I'm not gonna go through all these. It's a lot of movies, but the 50 most underrated comedy movies of all time, and just kind of scrolling through them, I can agree with a lot of them on this list. And we're gonna start with let's see. We're not gonna start at 50. We'll start at 47, and this was a Tim Allen, Alan Rickman, in Galaxy Quest. I actually am one of the few that thoroughly loved Galaxy Quest. I thought it was a very good satirical Star Trek. It was kind of like to me it was what Spaceballs was to Star Wars. Galaxy Quest was to Star Trek. And I thoroughly did enjoy Galaxy Quest. I know I'm in the minority.
Wasn't there a movie similar to that years and years ago that you and I saw in theaters, and halfway through it we were like, this movie fucking sucks?
Probably. There's a good to fair chance.
Because I could have sworn, because I have, I think I've only walked out of a movie maybe like twice, and one of those times was with you at the Moorestown Mall's movie theater, and I can't for the life of me remember.
Still exists.
Yeah,
but now it's a Regal, I think, or an AMC. It's not a United Artist anymore. Dude, if you came back out here at any point in time soon, we'll dive into that in a second. Because there's a lot of movies on this list. But yeah, Galaxy Quest, I like Galaxy Quest. I thought it's a good popcorn flick.
Okay,
it's not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely a good popcorn flick. Number 41 is Muppet Treasure Island. You can go fuck yourselves. This is the fact that the fact that it's on a list of seriously underrated comedies. It had Tim Curry in it.
Yeah,
like Tim Curry played this movie like it was the most serious role he's ever played. No, it's a lie. Tim Curry overacted. Michael Caine treated it like it was a goddamn serious movie when he was in Muppet Christmas Carol.
So it's funny that you mentioned Tim Curry and Michael Caine and the Muppets, because there's a meme that I've seen going around that explains why those two actors work so well with the Muppets.
Oh, because they are Muppets.
Well, no, because the way it explained it was Michael Caine treats the Muppets like fellow actors.
Yes.
And Tim Curry treats himself like a fellow Muppet.
Yes.
And that's why they both work so well.
And it's so accurate too. Like Tim Curry, he was a Muppet. Without a doubt, he was like, "All right, you guys are Muppets. Well, for this entire movie, I'm going to be a Muppet.
I shall also be a Muppet. Yes.
I met him a couple of years ago at Monster Mania, and my buddy Chris in front of me in line for the photo op with him. Before the picture, he told me, "He's like, you're Pennywise terrified me as a child." And Tim Kerr looked at him. He was like, "Good." And I was
Good.
like, I'm like, "Holy shit, man!" Um, let's see. I'm trying to go through movies. All right, number 35, and I can see why this might be an underrated comedy because I don't think a lot of people are aware of the magic of it. The Princess Bride. There are a lot of people who haven't seen it. Like, Alyssa has never seen The Princess Bride. Don't worry, we're going to change that very soon.
Oh, sure.
I'm slowly integrating movies that I've
Yeah,
watched.
and I'm thankful that I'm no longer of that mindset where, because I used to be kind of like, you haven't seen this? How could you have not have seen this movie? You didn't, like, rather than giving shit for it, people shit for it. Now I just want to be like, oh, sweet, do you want to watch it? I want to enjoy it vicariously through watching you watch it for the first
Exactly,
time.
yeah. Well, it's what because she's. I thought I said it to you before. She was like, I want to see a movie you haven't watched yet. I'm like, babe, you're a decade younger than me. Finding a movie I haven't watched yet is a statistical impossibility. Because I'm not a fan of newer movies.
Yeah.
A handful. I thoroughly enjoy Ricky Stenicki with John Cena was great. I have been told to watch Late Night with the Devil, which I haven't watched yet, but I plan on watching it. I'm off on Monday, so I plan on watching it on Monday.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that one.
But The Princess Bride, I mean, come on, Carrie Ells, Andre the Giant, oh my God,
Mandy Patinkin.
Thank you. Yes, I was drawing a blank on his friggin' name.
Yeah.
And it is, for those who have seen the movie, is one of the most quoted movies in the repertoire of movie quotes.
For sure, without
because
a doubt.
you have the typicals. You come, my father, prepare to die. As you
from
wish.
in the castle.
Yeah, have fun from the castle as you wish. Anybody want a peanut? But then there's my favorite line from that movie is the I give my word as a Spaniard. So not good. I'm okay. I trusted too many Spaniards. He's like, can you hurry up, please? Will you throw me a rope? I have a rope up here, but just so you know, I'm only up here waiting so I can kill you. Well, it does dampen our friendship a little bit. It's just, and then there's the I'm not left-handed. There's so many quotes from that movie, and it is, it's just fucking great. If you haven't seen it before, who hurt you in your life?
Yeah.
Number 30 is The Addams Family. The first movie that came out in 91 with Raul Julia and Angela Houston.
Angelica Houston. That's it.
Thank you. Yes, Angelica. Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I was thinking Angela Lansbury. I was like, no, it wasn't her. And then I was like, Angela Bassett. I was like, nope, that's the wrong color. I was like, who the fuck played this pale ass white girl in this movie? And then I got the first name wrong, the last name right. So thankfully, you knew who I was talking about.
Yep.
Again, great, another great movie. And actually, I found out recently, I shouldn't say recently, a couple of years ago, that in the first Men in Black movie, no, was it the first one? No, the second Men in Black movie, when the two aliens are going out to dinner or lunch or whatever, and the fucking bug thing kills both of them trying to find Orion's belt or whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
The tall alien was the guy who played Lurch in the Addams Family. And it's kind of going through. So okay, so now we're getting into movies that I have definitely seen. Number 29, another movie that if you haven't seen it, I'm not sure what happened in your life to make you not see it, but Liar Liar.
Yeah. That was
I
like
mean,
one of the earlier things we bonded over because you would quote that movie at me, and I'm like, I need to watch this movie.
just the outtakes alone, when the movie's over, are hilarious. Yeah,
Goose.
it's,
Just
it's
crinkles papers.
yeah, and the what she calls him an overactor.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. But I want to play this real quick as I bring up Liar Liar, because I just found this out recently, and I never noticed it, because a lot of times background characters in movies I don't really tend to pay a lot of attention to.
Mhm.
But this is I gotta see if I can find, here it is, and we don't need it up that loud. I mean, hell, we don't even need sound for it, but we're gonna do it anyway. We'll go here and here.
We're all doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, he's my husband. Was my husband.
That's Fire
Yep.
Marshal Bill. That's Jim Carrey. That's this Fire Marshal Bill from A Living Color. Only Jim
Nice.
Carrey could make a cameo in a Jim Carrey movie. Like
Yeah.
there is, and I think from what I read, he just wanted to do it. He wanted to see if anybody would notice that he
Yeah,
was his
and-
own character.
Yeah, and I don't
in
think
his own
anybody
movie.
did.
It's-
Because I never noticed it till people pointed
till
it out
just
on
now?
the internet. Yeah.
Oh, another movie that I thoroughly enjoy, and a lot of people don't like it, Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock. And I might enjoy it simply because my grandmother and mom watched it all the time, and I kind of got used to watching it.
Oh, I actually had this movie help me out at work recently.
Did you really?
Yes, because it was
Please
recently.
explain.
Okay. So I am on the marketing team at work, and one of our main things we've been promoting lately is just that, like, it's actual people behind, like, the product. It's not just a factory and just shit being pumped out. So it's an excuse to do like local engagement and visit local businesses and do shit like that. But sometimes we just come up with funny posts using like TikTok sounds. And it
Yeah,
was recently April 25th.
the best day of the year.
And we were experiencing, like, we were in the middle of like a week and a half straight of rain here in Oregon. So my coworker and I went outside in the rain and just used the sound clip. And I'm the one who says, my perfect day is April 25th.
All you need is a light jacket.
And yeah. Meanwhile, it's outside while it's like very much raining.
Yeah.
And somehow that video on our Instagram got like fucking 45,000 views.
Holy shit.
And it's just funny because, like, it was one of those ideas that I just threw out there. I'm like, hey, why don't we do this? And all of my coworkers are, at least a decade younger than me.
Yeah.
Some of them are, I'll be like, yeah, I graduated high school in 2003. When did you graduate high school? And they'll be like, 2017. Like,
You're
oh,
like, fuck you. Eat a bag of soggy dicks.
So, like, I pitched this miscongeniality idea to them, and they're like, if you say so, whatever. It's 20 minutes away from our desks. So we did that and posted it, and it just blew up, and we weren't expecting that. So
that's me and my coworkers. I have this one coworker, Sam, who just reminds me all the time how old I am. By saying the sentence, I wasn't even alive then when I bring certain things up. And I'm like, thanks a lot for that. I appreciate it. You're a good employee. back to work.
Yeah, I find
it's-
myself saying without directly saying when I was your age, just kind of having a lot of those inferences. But when it's like a 15-year age gap, I feel
Yeah.
like it's kind of warranted, at least a little bit, because shit was just completely different from
Yeah.
when we were
Except
23-ish.
except game prices.
Clearly.
As we
No,
found out
they've all gone up by about
in
$10
this
to $15.
in this 30-year-old magazine.
Yeah.
Next on the list, number 27, is the 40-year-old virgin. Who put this list together? I don't know anybody who has not seen the
Wow, the
40-year-old
40-year-old.
virgin.
What an underrated. Like, were these people around when this movie came out?
Because it was
not
you couldn't escape it. Yeah,
people quoting it. And I know I said this earlier. I didn't mean it disparagingly towards you, but when I say people quote this movie at you, not
Yeah.
to you, at you.
Yeah. The amount of times I heard, "No, Kelly Clarkson."
Yeah.
I'm like,
and
when
this is a bit dated material now, but so many people would be like, how I know you're gay, because you listen to Coldplay, because you and things like that.
Like and whenever somebody's talking about that movie, whenever somebody goes, "Hey, did you know?" I go, "Yes, I know the waxing scene with Steve Carell was real. And he was actually getting waxed. I'm fully aware. I knew it when the movie first fucking came out. I know it now. You don't gotta tell me the story again. I'm fully aware."
There's some trivia facts people will toss at me and be like, "Yes, I got sick of people prefacing that statement with 'Did you know?' several years ago." Just "Oh, did you know the creator of SpongeBob was a marine biologist?" Yes, I know.
Yes.
Did you know that Flea voices one of the kids in the Wild Thornberries? Yeah, I know.
All right, so, dear God, I just gave myself a headache. Did you know in the 40-year-old virgin that all these things happened? Did you know in this movie that came out 19 years ago that all of yes, we knew it 19 years ago, and I know it now. Came out in 2005.
Yeah.
I was 2 years out of high school when that movie came out. Let's see. This is one I forgot about, and I have to watch it again because I want to see if it's still as funny as it was when I saw it originally. And it was one of the first. I think it came out. No, it came out the same year as the Birdcage. If I recall correctly, Birdcage came out in '95 also. But Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. It was had Patrick Swayze in it, John Leguizamo, Wesley Snipes, and they were all dressed in drag. And it was one of those very weird comedies that when I first watched it, it was really good. But it's one of those movies that, but I'm not sure if I watch it now if it's going to age properly. You know what I mean? Like the Birdcage, it aged beautifully. Nothing about that movie.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Has
some movies
aged
like
poorly.
that age like wine. Some movies age like milk.
Yep. I might watch Tu Wong Fu soon and let you know. I might text you wine or milk, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Kung Fu Hustle. I forgot all about that fucking movie.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That one I think is underrated. I don't think a lot of people know that movie exists. And if you don't know it exists, you should know it exists.
My nipples look like milk duds.
Because again, it is one of those movies
favorite fucking quote from that movie.
It is so stupid that it is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. The best way to pitch it to people is imagine someone just took an old, Asian movie and redubbed it with silly shit.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. And let's see. I'm kind of going through the rest of this list to see. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't see any Mel Brooks movies on here and I'm very happy to say there's not one Mel Brooks movie on this list. So that must be a good thing. That must be a good
Yeah.
sign.
Sure.
The Money
Keep my
Pit.
name off the list of underrated movies.
The Money Pit with Tom Hanks. One of my favorite movies.
This is
If
going to shock you, but I have not seen that one.
you've not seen The Money
I've
Pit,
heard about it.
I'm going to show you just real quick one of my favorite scenes from that movie, and it's one of those things. Again, kind of we're talking about outtakes with Liar Liar. Okay, so real quick, I had to bring this up. I just brought up my YouTube channel again, and oh no, I forgot. I looked up Liar Liar because all I see is Liar Liar as a suggested video on my feed. I was like, I'm never looking at Liar Liar. I remember in 10 seconds I looked up Fire Marshal Bill in Liar
You
Liar.
did.
I am getting I'm old.
Yeah, YouTube's kind of getting wise to this thing of like, did you look up this one video? Would you like to watch 10 more videos based on that?
Yes.
Would you like it to be your entire watch history now? We can just do things and like that related, because that's how it is right now with like, I watched one Breaking Bad clip.
Oh yeah.
And now it's just suggesting so many Better Call Saul spoilers because I haven't watched it yet, and that's annoying. So and some of these videos are just titled like full first and last name of a character kills full first and last name of another character. It's like, that is a fucking late game spoiler, and you're putting it in the title of the video.
It's like look,
name dropping full names.
It's like looking up like a Walking Dead clip and seeing Negan kills Glenn and Abraham. It's like, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember reading the comics, so I knew that was going to happen long before it happened. I was like, I was with a buddy of mine watching the episode. He was like, who's going to die? I was like, Abraham and fucking Glenn.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? I was like, dude, it's premiering tonight. I haven't watched it yet. I read the comics. It's Negan and Glenn. As an end, if it's comic accurate, Glenn's eyeball's gonna pop out of his fucking skull. If it's comic accurate. And then sure enough, he fucking whacks with that fucking bat and he stands up and his fucking eyes like out of his fucking head. I was like, ha, holy shit.
It's like, oh hey, they did it.
I was like, this on AMC. What the fuck is happening right now? Like on like
with
Prime
AMC stands for my corneas.
Let me pull this clip up from the Money Pit. Let me. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to do present. There we go. And we'll go to here. And here we go.
See, now I want to see that clip taken into one of those
oh my god
editors where it's like hat.
Oh dear God! Somebody had it has to exist.
Yeah.
Someone had to. If nobody's done it, find all the accounts that do that and comment on all of them. Money Pit laughing scene, and just all of them, and it needs to happen because that. And again, we're going back on the outtakes. I need to see the outtake of just that scene. Because there's no way it was done in one take. There's no chance in hell with how he was laughing that they're able to keep it together.
Oh yeah.
For a take. It's but yeah, it came out in '86. It was one of Tom Hanks's, I think one of his first few movies. I think it came out after Big. Another great movie too that he was in. Matter of fact, not underrated movies, but I honestly, and I haven't seen I haven't seen a couple, but I can't think of one Tom Hanks movie that hasn't been good. Like some
Yeah.
like they're not saying great or fantastic, but it hasn't been good. Like has been like, you know, yeah, that was a good movie. I've never walked out. I never stopped watching a Tom Hanks movie. But that was awful. Because no matter how bad the movie is, Tom Hanks makes it better.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of whatever about Polar Express, but then again, I'm not really the demographic for that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, neither was I, but I had, children when the movie came out, and so I watched it way too many times.
Yes.
Going up more, entering the top 15 now. Rush Hour, the first Rush Hour movie. And again,
I saw this movie in theaters.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure where these...
And I liked it.
I'm not sure if they're basing Underrated off of, like, poor box office or whatnot. Because, again, that was another movie that was quoted at you.
Yeah.
And it's mostly...
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And again, best bloopers.
Yes.
There's one where there's like a part where like Jackie Chan's supposed to like point a gun at someone and yell freeze, but he's like, cheese. I mean, freeze.
One of my favorite outtakes, and there's a lot of them, but it was in Deadpool, and it was the scene where he's in the warehouse. It might have been Deadpool 2, but he's in the warehouse, and he just goes, "My stunt double is going to kick your ass." And you're about to be killed by a Zamboni. All right, this one doesn't belong on this list because I think it was awful, and I love Rowan Atkinson, Johnny English. That one was made specifically, in my opinion, to try to be an equal to Austin Powers, and it just wasn't. I love Mr. Bean. I love most of the things that he's in, but Johnny English was not. It was not it. And it's number 10 on this list, so I'm kind of scared to see what like 3, 2, and 1 are. Number 9, Police Academy. I can see why this might be underrated to today's standard. Again, because going back, that movie came out 40 years ago.
Right.
So, again, people that are much younger than us might have not a single clue about Police Academy.
Yeah.
And that's a movie that I think the generations after us might not find funny.
That's fair. It is kind of one of those, like, it's a product of its time kind of movies.
It was funny for its time.
It's gonna be like we may look back on movies like Waiting, like that.
Yeah,
which sucks because as a concept, I love the movie.
Yeah,
I admit, looking back, they were a bit heavy-handed on the slurs and the homophobia.
Yes, 100%. I watched it recently with Alyssa.
And it's like, yeah, parts of this movie did not age well.
Yeah. And Police Academy is I think one of those movies, just in regards to like the sexism and misogyny in the movie with the one cop that has the giant rack. I can't remember fucking name off the top of my head, but she also played, and I found this out years ago. She played in I think she was in House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects. She played the mother of all the psychos. Going up more, Hot Fuzz. I have not watched this one in the longest time. I don't recall being a big fan of it.
It's a wonderful movie. It's got
I'll have to watch it again. I think I'll give it a second shot because I haven't watched it since I watched it the first time. And
it's good. It's got a
it might
lot
have
of
caught me.
callback humor.
It might have caught me on
Where
one of those weird days where I was like, I don't think this is funny.
no,
Um,
it's really well done. I like it a lot. But yeah, they do a lot of like callbacks to like earlier in the movie where like something in one part of the movie that's like one joke gets called back to again, like oh this, that, and the other, and
like another movie that wow, I just had a total fucking brain fart. Uh, that what was the movie? I said it caught me like just got on an off day. Um, Anna watched with me during the COVID times. Bo Burnham's Inside special,
mm-hmm.
and I ended up falling asleep during it. Um, I'm not sure if it was because I was just tired or because it was a no audience thing, so it didn't have the same like comedic
Sure.
repertoire, with the audience reaction to the songs. Uh, but I'm going to watch it again because like she plays the songs in the car when I'm driving around all the time, and the songs I think are funny.
Yeah.
I made you some content like that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a good special.
the songs are
Um,
good, the humor's good, but I think it just caught me where I was like, this is weird because it's a comedy special, but it's being filmed inside of a house with no audience, and it just kind of felt weird to not. And wrestling at that time was weird too because there's a point in time in wrestling where there was no audience. It was
yeah,
just wrestling in an empty warehouse
yeah,
with no
it
with
just
no
felt
reaction. It was a very weird time to be alive. Um,
yeah.
and what made wrestling funnier to me though at that point, the title belts, they still had the rivets in the back for the belt for the buckles, but they
Mhm.
removed the buckles and they put Velcro there instead. And there was a ladder match that was happening, and the guy climbs the ladder and pulls the belt down, and you could hear the of the Velcro. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Very authentic and professional sounding.
Yeah, that is unintentionally hilarious to me that I can hear the Velcro that I know is already there, but to hear it makes it 10 times funnier.
Yeah.
Paul Blart Mall Cop is number 6 on this list. It should be lower on this list. Um, I wasn't the biggest fan, but then
Yeah.
again, I'm not a huge Kevin James fan.
Hmm.
Like his first special, Sweat the Small Stuff. I like that special. That was actually surprisingly funny to me.
Yeah.
But like King of Queens and so I wasn't really a huge fan of when he's the secondary character. I like him when he Grown Ups 2. He's not the
Mhm.
main focus of the movie. I like him more. I'm not a big fan of when he's like the focal point of
Yeah.
of a movie. And wow, back to back Kevin James. Zookeeper is next on this list. It's,
How come kids today don't like the Kevin James? I think he's hysterical. Chris Ray this list.
Yes. Let me. I want to pull something up real quick that I want to show you before we stop. No. Let's see if I can find it again. Is this the? Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll pull this up. I'm gonna let's make that go away. Okay. Number 4 on this list, and again, a movie that I can understand why it's overrated, why it's not overrated, underrated. This came out in 1980, but another movie that you and I have quoted so many times, Marco and I, my own family. The one quote that is said ad nauseum in my household at one point was, "You can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley."
Yeah.
And it's Airplane.
Yes.
Again, another so quotable movie, but I can see why it's underrated again because that
Just 'cause
style of
it's older.
comedy, Well, yeah, and that style of comedy, I don't think the younger generation with the shorter attention spans would be able to appreciate the genius comedy in that movie. Like
It's really well done.
I honestly don't think if Alyssa watched it, she would laugh once. Like I honestly don't think she would even find it funny. Which
I
is
think
why
so. I think that's one of those, but I think it is one of those movies you need to watch with closed captions on, just because some of the jokes are audio based and you might miss them
yes.
otherwise.
Oh yeah, like
Uh,
the intercom
Yeah, the
as they're
intercom
walking through
people
the
arguing
airport.
with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The give me what was it? Give me why don't you hold the mayo? Or what the fuck that line was when he has the fucking two phones. The Roger. We have
Yeah.
Clarence. What's your Vector Victor?
Yeah.
The one line that I love the most in that, and it's quoted in Family Guy too, was the plane's getting smaller and Leon's getting larger.
Yeah.
But yeah, Airplane is another one of those fantastic movies. And number 3 is one we were just talking about a few minutes ago, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. It's, I mean, we've already quoted the movie enough on this show in just this episode alone.
Yeah. But we've quoted it in like at least 2 other episodes.
We have, yes. And however, there is one character in that movie that did some really bad things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And he's not with us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The killer was finally found. And then the number 1 movie on this list, and one
it's O.J. Simpson, by the way.
Yes, it's the number 1 movie on this list that I have to watch again. I haven't watched it in such a long time. One of my favorite movies, and I can again, underrated as hell. What About Bob? With Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray.
See, maybe this is my signal that I need to see it because I haven't seen it.
It is very good. It's classic Bill Murray. That's I can tell you. It's classic Bill Murray. And you know, I won't say anything about it. I won't give you anything from the movie. It is really good. I'm not sure it's streaming anywhere. But one movie I'm actually surprised isn't on this list, and I think it's because people fucking hate it. And my mom hates it with a passion because I watched it. Sorry for yelling. One too many times. Drop Dead Fred. I loved that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
And I watched it again recently, and I still love that movie as a 30-something-year-old adult. And then another one that I think is underrated aside from Drop Dead Fred is Little Monsters with Howie Mandel. That I watched with my kids when they were a couple years back. I watched it for the first time with them, and they loved it. It was like, oh, you like this? We love this movie. I'm like, cool. I'm happy you like this movie because I've trained you for years to love this weird shit that I enjoy.
Exactly.
Let me see if this clip has exactly what I want to show you. I'm not sure if it does or not. It might. Yeah, I think it's just people talking about it. Oh no, it's not. Okay, hold on. Let me pull the. I can't remember what this is. Like, what caused this? If it was a YouTube video or an Instagram thing or whatnot, but I just feel that you will get a good chuckle out of it, being that we're both fans of The Simpsons, and this is a reference to an older episode of The Simpsons.
Nice.
Hey, why isn't there sound? Let's try that again.
Check out this clip right now.
Roll it. Hey, Brock Lesnar, you got one of these? What about you, Ric Flair? Oh, yeah, I forgot. You weren't even on Simpsons. Bet you don't have one of these bad boys either. Show me the Simpsons.
Why would I want a picture of a pitiful pencil neck geek? Indeed.
Don't feel sorry for him.
I feel sorry for him. Pitiful.
I came across that yesterday. I was like, I gotta find this again.
Oh, I just love that other joke. It's like, and you'll just love this neighborhood, Hitman. You won't even be the only neighbor wrestler in it. The Shrieking Sheik is just 3 doors down, and you just say like,
oh Jesus! I was watching. What the fuck was I watching the other night? I was watching American Dad, and it was I guess later seasons I haven't seen before because I forgot they're making new episodes. But it was an episode where I think I was called Lois. What the fuck?
Francine.
Francine, thank you. Where Francine was mad that Stan was listening to her and she was talking, so he was given this pill by the CIA to make him be able to like pay attention to when she was talking. But then as the female scientist was like explaining about the pill, him and Bullock was nodding their heads up and down, and you can hear like the ocean playing over top of it, just fucking tuning her out.
Yeah.
And then it turns out the pill turns you into a woman if you took it. So the end of the episode is like Bullock trying to fuck Stan.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest goddamn thing I ever saw. I'm like, how is this? I was like, it's again, that was one of those episodes, kind of how you can tell Family Guy when they ran out of ideas. I think set the front was like, okay, we have this, we have to fill an episode, so let's just do this.
It's like, yeah, we have access to, the CIA's mystical lab, so we can, make shit non-canonical with reality if we want to.
Yeah.
For 26 minutes.
But another movie I watched, I was home from work the other day, and I was on like I want to watch a movie I haven't seen in forever to see if I still enjoy it. And I kind of dip my toes in that pool every so often where it's like, let's watch the first Mortal Kombat movie, which I love, the first one. And then after I watched that one, I was like, oh, let's watch Annihilation next. And then I remembered why I didn't watch Annihilation the second time after I saw it the first time.
Did it give you an existential crisis?
It was
did
awful.
For me.
It was terrible. Like just something about they tried so hard to make
there
it
were a
live
lot of
up.
things in the movie that I really didn't like that I felt were completely unnecessary.
Yes.
Like what's her face cheating on her husband.
Yeah.
And then having to go into like the weird,
Nether realm or whatever the hell it was.
Like the shimmer, that's what they called it. But like they made it so her impetus was like she had to rescue her husband from this like zone because she felt bad for cheating. It's like you could have completely removed that from the story and the story would have been no different.
Yeah.
Why not have her impetus be because she loves her husband, not because she feels guilty about her own fuck ups?
Yeah. Like there are certain things in movies that I when they just kind of throw it in. Like that didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
Like you stole 5 minutes of my life.
No,
and I demand for it back.
There are easier ways to show flaws in characters. You don't have to make it be one of the most universally hated flaws in people.
Yeah. It's There's
Like you can make it be like, oh, they have trouble balancing, work and life, and it's affecting their personal relationships. Doesn't have to be like they've got the gusto to go into this zone, but also they like to strangle puppies. But no, he's like, you don't have to have it be that extreme. And they're going into the zone because they feel bad about it. Now,
but they kick kittens. It's just like they yeet infants into the sun.
they yeetus a fetus into the sun.
But I watched a movie that I was like, I was on my Cody thing, trying to find something to watch, and I was scrolling through all movies just until I found something I liked, and I came across Richie Rich.
The Macaulay Culkin one?
Yes.
Huh.
And I was like, I haven't watched this in forever. I want to watch it right now. I want to see if I still enjoy this movie. And the acting is so fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All around awful. But the movie itself is not entirely awful. Like it's not again, it's another popcorn flick.
Yeah.
It's one that, like, I'm like, nothing else is on. I'm home by myself. I'm hanging out with the dog who's currently passed out in her crate right now.
Yeah.
Because she
Yeah,
has
it has a lot of lines in it where it's like the character would never say this and it doesn't fit the scene, but the audience will laugh.
Yes.
Like
And
I know there's a part in that movie where like the two parents have to like sing together in order to
yes.
get into the vault.
Uh-huh.
And the bad guy's like, "Thank you, Beavis and Butthead." It's like that didn't even they weren't acting like you just wanted to name drop something that was culturally relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the time.
And just their names too. Richard and Regina Rich. Like
it's based off of Richie Rich. It's a comic from like the 1920s.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But yeah, like that's and I'm actually surprised actually that Beavis and Butthead Do America was not on the list of underrated movies, because it should be. That's a
movie I want to
fantastic
see.
movie.
I want there to be a fourth.
Debbie Does Dallas?
No. What's weird is that's not the first time that's come up in conversation for me today. That's strange. It really has
three girls, one cup.
No, God no. The Three Girls, One Cup, the discovery of the fourth hole.
10 swirls in a man's suit in a cup.
No, that's an episode all by itself. Fuck, now I can't remember what I was saying. God damn
it. Sorry. I derailed the train of thought pretty fucking hard there.
You did. Son of a bitch. It'll come back to me.
I know.
What were we talking about?
Richie Rich.
Cultural relevance.
A movie that you wanted to see?
Oh, yes. No, I remember now.
I'll stop then.
No. It's this is a movie that doesn't exist, but should.
Oh, okay.
It is a movie. It is a fourth reboot, not fourth reboot, but a fourth iteration of Willy Wonka. Where
fourth? Oh, right, I forgot, because they made the new one.
Yeah, but it incorporates the new one, where the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka and the Johnny Depp Willy Wonka work together to reanimate the corpse of Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka.
And what happens
and
next?
It's a scary movie.
I can imagine.
You call it Thrilly Wonka. And the Dark Chocolate Factory. I couldn't even finish it.
God damn it. I tried I tried so fucking hard.
It's nice that my headphones are wireless. I can just get them.
I tried so goddamn hard to not give you that. I was trying to keep a straight face and not laugh.
Oh no, my jacket fell.
But like everything else, it's the confidence behind the dark chocolate factory. It's god damn it.
Yeah, it's the
when this show is over, I'm just gonna cut that particular clip out, and that's gonna be a Facebook reel and a TikTok video to promote the fucking show.
Yeah.
Because that's
because it's just that feeling of like, huh?
And also because I want to watch it again just so I can hear the pin drop between Thrilly Wonka and the Dark Chocolate Factory. Because we could have sat there in silence for a minute and just sold that moment.
Well, and I'll tell you what was going on in my brain in that moment. Like, I had Thrilly Wonka as I was telling you about the part where I got to like Gene Wilder.
And
I'm like,
Titus,
and and that at the moment was the end of the
Titus
joke.
Your Titus going, no, wait.
So, well, no, it was that, but then I'm trying to think of like like jokes about chocolate, but like scary. I'm like dark chocolate, and I'm like, and I was having that like split second decision of like, is that too much? And then I just hear Palpatine's voice.
Do it. And the dark chocolate. I fucking hate you. Oh god, I hate you so much. That god damn it. Anyway, I was going to
This is
segue
a
to
fun
something.
time to announce that I'm learning to animate, and I think I found the first thing from our show that I want to like make an animation out of.
Look, I want to tell you, and wholeheartedly, that I was not lying to you. That video you sent me of Game Grumps with the thing,
yeah,
that still shot of Aaron.
Yeah.
Terror. When I saw that fucking game in my store with the fucking mouth wide open,
mouth.
I heard in my
More!
head, just the more. I said, God damn it, Nick. But yeah, we were talking an hour and a half ago now about the movie theater in Morristown, and I said I was going to bring up some shit happening at that mall now that is mind-boggling to me. And I live in Morristown still. You've been out of this town for 20 years, give or take. Less than that, 15 years. No, because
25.
Oh yeah, because my you weren't here when the kids were born.
No, I left at the start of high school,
after
so
middle school,
99.
Yeah. Fucking 25 years ago, Jesus Christ.
No, but a lot of the Jersey mannerisms are still very much in me. And what's funny is living as I have gone further west, the East Coast in me is more noticeable at times.
I can imagine.
Mostly in traffic.
When you're driving.
Yeah. Not in the way of I know what a turn signal is. I learned to drive in Wisconsin. I didn't learn to drive in New Jersey, but I still have the mannerisms and the attitudes of New Jersey drivers, and that I don't have. There's a lot of performative kindness on the road out here. Like somebody with 10 cars behind them will stop to let one person cross the street when the pedestrian doesn't have the right of way. The person in the lead car just wants to feel good about themselves. Being like, I helped this person by letting them cross the street. Fuck those 10 cars behind me. Like, and I've gotten into like arguments with people about it out here, and I'm like, why, when it pertains to driving, do the needs of the many no longer outweigh the needs of the few?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get looked at like I'm an asshole. I get told that I've been only since moving out here I've been called an overly assertive driver, an aggressive driver. I'm like, no, assertive, I'll take that. Because I got places to be.
Yeah, I got shit to do. There's Chad Daniels in his one special had a joke about that kind of stuff. And he's like, you can't be nice with somebody else's time.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want to be a nice, adopt the, join the Big Brother or the Big Sister program and bring a kid to the movie. But on your way to the theater, fucking go. Like this. But yeah, so the Morristown Mall, there's some shit happening here. The biggest thing that was in the last couple of years, and this you might have heard about this at some point, or I might have even told you at some point. I can't remember. But in the last few years, Morristown is no longer a dry town. Some of the restaurants in the Morristown Mall serve alcohol now,
Nice.
which blew me away when it was first announced. I was like, we're going to fucking have liquor in Morristown? Awesome. But then, just last week, in the parking lot of the Morristown Mall, we have our first liquor store in Morristown. Wow. Now, to be fair, the Morristown pub used to be at the border of Maple Shade and Morristown. It was literally walking distance from my house. And they built it right at the border. As soon as you crossed into Maple Shade, it was right fucking there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a buy right liquor store, and it's right at the Morristown Mall. There's also finishing construction on a parking garage for the Morristown Mall.
Okay.
It's going to go along with in the coming years some a hotel that's going to be built in the parking lot of the Morristown Mall, I believe, and some low-income housing in the Morristown Mall, which I'm sure you can possibly guess the residents of this town are so happy to have low-income housing here. Because the people in Morristown, they hear low-income housing, and they immediately go to like, town's going to go to shit because low-income housing, and the amount of things I've commented
my
on.
backyard.
Yep, yeah, it's fucking NIMBY. It's a fucking NIMBY situation. And the amount of things I've commented on in that time since they announced it, where it's like, I've lived in this town my entire life. I can't afford to rent an apartment in this town. So the low-income housing will help people in this town who want to rent
in this town.
In this town.
Like, which will then, allow tax dollars to stay in this town.
Mm-hmm. And then we are opening literally just down the road from me a dispensary. And then in what used to be Lord and Taylor, it is now called Turn 7. That's closing, and it's going to be a entertainment venue. It's going to have bowling, laser tag, go-karts, arcade shit, and a restaurant. I assume it's going to be something akin to like a Dave and Buster's, but it's like going to be like more of like a quick service thing, like a Funplex.
Awesome.
Right there in Mount Laurel, the Funplex. But yeah, it sounds fantastic. But the amount of stores in that mall now that are closed and non-existent is depressing. It's starting to slowly look like the old Echelon Mall, when it started to die out, and now it's called the Voorhees Town Center, and it's got 3 stores total, but it's still the size of a fucking mall. Like,
Yeah, there's a place near me called the Lloyd Center where it's just basically like a dying mall. But since it has a lot of this, I want to say like maybe 30% of the stores in that mall are in business. The rest are either open or vacant. I think there's like a night school on the 3rd floor. But a lot of the venues either get rented out, or the store sections either get rented out by like small businesses or organizations for like swap meets. So they can just have a big open space where people can set up tables.
I actually stopped that a couple years ago, and I'll tell a story, and then we'll segue into our ending nonsense. But I stopped there last year. I was, I'll tell two stories of this, 2 similar stories. I was selling one of my old trolling motors for my boat because I had I got a second one, so I got rid of the first one that I had, and there's a bad storm coming. So I was there, saw this guy, and I was like, "Look, I got a 20-minute drive home from here. It's gonna get real shitty in a second. I want to get the fuck out of here. Any questions you have for me about this motor, just give me a call or text me. I'm going before this shit gets bad." So driving home, and I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna make it home without driving through this, and I'm kind of happy I didn't. So I stopped at the Voorhees Town Center, and I was like, I'll stay here till this passes, and then I'll go home. So I walk in there, and I'm on the I'm on the 2nd floor, and the first thing I see is just an empty food court, which is depressing.
Yeah.
I see what used to be a Mrs. Fields cookie store, and I got instantly depressed. I'm like, I used to love Mrs. Fields cookies when I was a kid, man. I used to go get those fucking M&M, those big old fucking M&M cookies they used to sell.
Of your head.
And then that storm rolled through, and I'm in there, and I can hear what had to have been nickel quarter-size hail bouncing off the fucking roof. Because it was empty, it was echoing through the entire mall.
Oh God!
And then
this is how Stranger Things happens.
Yeah, and then it passed, and I went home, and I hop on Facebook. I have a friend of mine who's a meteorologist, and I follow him on Facebook, and I happened to go to his page, and I watched a live that he did during that storm, and he's like, "Hey, if you are in the area of Marlton, Voorhees, Evesham, this area here by this road and this road, the storm has rotation. Get off the roads, seek shelter." I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that doesn't happen in New Jersey this often. I don't like this shit. Yeah. So fast forward a few months, April 1st of last year. I am at 5 Below. And I have my buddy Nick's weather app on my phone, and his app will they'll send warnings out up to 5 minutes prior to the National Weather Service issuing any kind of warning, which I think is super awesome. I'm not sure how technology-wise he does that, but it's fantastic. So my phone goes off. I see the warning. It had, severe thunderstorm warning, 2 out of 5. Tornado probability. And I'm like, all right, no need to freak out, just, see what happens. 4 minutes later, everybody's phone's going off in the store with the National Weather Service.
Yeah.
Tornado warning for this area, this area, this area. And so Ed is in the back of the store, my old boss, and he calls me on the store phone. He's like, bring everybody to the back stock room. I was like, cool, got it. So we have a couple customers in the store. I was like, everybody follow me to the stock room. We're gonna go hunker down until this passes. So we walk in the stockroom, and the first thing I say when we get back there, because I wanted to lighten the mood, because everybody was very scared. So I want to lighten the mood. I go, welcome to the Five Below stockroom, where everything you want to buy you can't find because it's all back here. And everybody laughed.
I thought it was funny.
And this poor girl had really bad storm anxiety. I could tell she was like me when I was a kid, like Anna now, really bad. So I'm trying to calm her down. Our stockroom door, our metal lift gate door, is just like bang, bang, fucking just getting nailed. I'm like, this is not helping this poor child at all. We lost power for a split second, came back on again. So I'm looking at my radar map. I was like, it's past us. We'll head back up front. So we go up front, and still downpouring. Once it calms down, everybody leaves the store. We get up and we stay open for another hour. So the next day, I happen to go on. Someone posted up the National Weather Service website, and with the information about the tornado that touched down. So I hopped on there and I watched the storm path, and I'm looking at the map, and it crossed Route 130 one light up from my store.
Oh wow!
Like less than a mile.
Yeah.
Like I could have walked to the light that it crossed at if I wanted to. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? If I had known that it wasn't going to come my way, I would have walked outside. Because I've never seen
Yeah,
a tornado.
they're interesting. They're interesting when you see one. Growing up
And
in the
I was like,
Midwest, I saw them here and there, like to the point
I
where
can
we
imagine.
had tornado sirens.
Yeah, and
And they tested them every Saturday at noon, to the point where it'd be a beautiful sunny day, and you hear what sounds like an air raid siren, and
immediate paranoia.
if you're new in town, you're probably freaked out at the fact that nobody's even acknowledging it. Like people are still just because everyone's used to it.
Because all I can hear is John Mulaney. Yep, same shit as always.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a bad one here a couple of years ago. The remnants of Hurricane Ida, I think, one of the fucking hurricanes that hit down the Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And for the 4 days leading up to it, every weather channel in the local area was like, heads up, we're going to be on the dirty side of this storm. It's going to get bad. So, stock up on your water, your whatever you need, just in case it gets rough. That way you have what you need in your house if you lose power. If you have a generator, get a generator. This is going to get fucking bad. And I was working at the the Advanced Hard Parts of Williamboro. And I had the NBC 10 news on all day. And just their live coverage of this monster that was the storm that's heading our way. And around 5 o'clock, they have this. I learned so much about weather in that 10-hour period. All the different maps they use, the high, the velocity radar and the whole nine and all this shit. And they're like, they pull up that one radar and they're like, okay, they go, this that is a tornado on the ground in this area, seek shelter, blah blah blah, and then again, and then another one, and another one, and another one, and 6:30 rolls around, and they pull up whatever other map they have that measures. It basically measures what shouldn't be in the sky.
Yeah.
Like random things that are trees, houses, cars, puppies, children, whatever shouldn't be in the sky, this thing can read. So I guess the more vibrant the colors are,
Mm-hmm.
the scarier the situation is going to be. And the guy pulls the map up, and the first words out of his mouth are, "Okay, this isn't good." and in my head, I'm like, "You fucking can't say that."
Yeah.
You have to go. This right here is an area of concern.
Yeah.
Because if you go, "Oh fuck," that means I have to go, "Oh fuck." There's no like way to cover that. I'm like, I mean, we should worry here.
Like, don't say uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. That guy said he said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. So it ended up being the next day we found out it was an EF3. That's not New Jersey. Like we might get the occasional like EF0, EF1, knocking some trees down and damaging roof tile. But to get like an EF3, EF4 mile wide funnel in New Jersey
you're from out of town.
It's like, what the fuck? So they're whatever thing they use to drag the line, and they go, it's heading this way. It'll be in this town by whatever, this town by whatever. And I'm watching. I was like, all I need you fuckers to do is to not mention the town that I'm currently in, or the town my family is in. It's all I need you guys to do. Is don't mention either town. And they pull that fucking line up and they go, it's going to be in Delran at this time, Willingboro, Morristown, Lenola, Maple Shade. I'm like, you motherfuckers. I was like, are you kidding?
What did I just say?
So, like, here's mom's logic. If the warning doesn't say Lenola, we're fine. Because it's from Morristown. And I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how geography works. Yes, we're in Lenola, but we're a stone's throw from Morristown. So now I'm like losing my fucking mind. I'm like, this thing's a monster. It's heading either to where I currently am or my family and my kids are. And I am so far away. And then as this is happening, here comes some douchebag with some brake rotors that he wants to return.
Yeah.
And I'm outside. I'm like, can't you see the sky? Can't you see the power lines literally bouncing up and down from the wind? This can wait till tomorrow, my friend. Go seek shelter. Go find safety. I don't want to return these. Comes to the store, we lose power immediately. I was like, sorry, dude, but I can't return them. Okay, bye. And just walks out of the store. I'm like, dude, just stay here.
Yeah, it's like, it's not safe.
So he leaves. Power comes back on in about 5 seconds. So it comes back in again. I was like, no, man, sorry. Our systems are totally down. It's going to take about 10 minutes to load up. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it turns out, thankfully, this thing dissipated and was gone. And then reformed again up by Trenton. Not as bad as it was, but still like reformed again. But a buddy of mine's house got destroyed, like got leveled, like as in Mullica Hill. It blew through Mullica Hill. But and again, you lived in the Midwest, and you've seen some things, man, and some stuff. Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've seen firsthand down out that way, because we don't see it that often, but it was so bizarre and so weird to see one house totally destroyed, and then right across the street, virtually no damage.
Yeah. Very, very Simpsons, very much like Flanders' house.
Yes. Like, it is such a weird thing to be like you got lucky by
all
inches.
gone diddly on.
Calm down there,
Hurricane Eddie is a good episode.
They're trying to help. Crap.
We ran out of floorboards, so we just painted the dirt. Pretty clever.
Did you see before we hop off here? Did you see the now whether it's aired or not yet? I have no idea. But apparently in the season premiere of The Simpsons, they're going to kill off another character. They're going to kill off a character.
Yeah, I think they aired the episode.
Did they?
Do you know who it is, or?
So the speculation in the article was Barney.
No, it's
it wasn't Barney. Who they kill? Bart, Lisa, Maggie.
No, it was. Well, it wasn't.
Greased up deaf guy. Wrong show.
I saw the tweet that alluding to that, where it was like one of these major Simpsons characters will die, and it shows like Homer, Bart, Marge, and then it's Larry from the bar. Yeah. One of the other guys, other than Barney, Lenny, Carl, or Homer.
Yeah, Larry.
Just never said anything.
Larry. He plays for the do you know why they killed him off? He had to go back to U2.
Not that Larry. Not the Larry.
For those who don't know, U2 has proven that they are just the worst on the planet, because they gave Bono and The Edge these awesome nicknames, and then you have Adam and Larry, who have no awesome nickname. So yeah, Nick and I have agreed to call everybody the except for Edge.
Yeah.
So the Bono, the Adam, the Larry, Edge.
And Edge. And Edge.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where the fuck's my fiance at? She left to go pick her daughter up like an hour and a half. Actually, when we started the show, she left to pick her daughter up. It's been almost fucking 2 hours.
Oh.
Hope she's okay. I haven't got a text yet. I'm gonna go to bed, I think.
I'm gonna go eat chicken.
I'm gonna have myself a snack. Now I'm gonna go bother my dog for a little while.
Yeah,
he's mad at me. Well, we gave him. He gets lippy sometimes. Not lippy. He thinks he's still a puppy, and he'll like try and gnaw at my hand.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't understand like the strength that he has when he gnaws at the hand, because he's a pit bull.
Yeah, he's like, you're not a puppy anymore, bud.
So when he
can't
gnaws
do that to get attention.
He doesn't use pressure. Like he's not like chomping down at my on my arm, but like he just grabs. He's like nah. I'm like, hey, fucking knock it off.
Yeah, because dog bites fucking hurt. I have been bitten by a large dog before, and it's not as fun as it sounds.
So to calm him down, Alyssa had this great idea, and I thought it was a great idea. She got him some doggy melatonin.
Yeah.
And we give it to him like 8 o'clock every night, and by 8:30, 8:45, he's on the floor, fucking out. I'm like, good dog. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Good dog.
But yeah, I'm gonna bother my dog if he's still awake. He's probably sorry for yelling. Fucking snoring in the bedroom right now. Who the fuck was that? Who's sending me shit? Oh,
I think that might have been mine.
Yeah, that was you, the Jane. Okay.
I just forgot my phone's like right here near the mic.
But yeah, we'll do this. We'll see. Well, I remember I alluded to it the other day, but I will officially say it right now, so you can join me in my excitement. Starting today, starting tomorrow, is my last week as a manager at Five Below.
Hell yeah!
I'm staying on as a part-time sales associate just to get a couple extra bucks, but I got a job offer.
Nice.
If you had told me 15 years ago that I'm working in a fucking Macy's, I would have punched you in the dick. But no, there's a new Macy's opening up in Cherry Hill, and I got a job offer for asset protection.
Okay, nice.
I'm just a security guard, and then rather than do that, they gave me what's called a generalist. so I can do everything in the store. They're gonna teach me every aspect of the store with my managerial experience, because then I might jump up on the ladder in a few months. And the benefit is, even with the position I have now, if we hit our goal every quarter, I get between a 50 and 60 cent raise every quarter.
Nice.
Which isn't bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Um,
fast.
which means that in 6 months, 6 months,
Another
in
$1.
in 6 months, I'll be making 50 cents more than I'm making right now at Five Below. 'Cause right now I'm making like 20 something cents less,
Yeah.
but I'm getting 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So it's weekly pay. Fuck yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it's my last week as a manager. Yeah, I kind of got over the bullshit last week when a customer threatened to shoot me.
Yeah. I think that'll do it.
That kind of dampers the joy of being a manager.
It's like, that makes me feel like I'm having a bad day now. Someone threatens to shoot me in the face.
It's a customer that's come in like a bunch of times, and every time she comes in, she causes a fucking problem. She goes from like 0 to 1 billion in less than a second. She came in last week, no, week before last week, caused a problem, and then came in the next week, caused another problem, and she called me a blue-eyed white fucking devil. And I was like, "You can leave my store. Bye." And she's like, "You can't do that." I was like, "I definitely can."
It's like, did it. It's done.
I assure you, legally speaking, I definitely can. And she had like one of those like dog toys that have the big fucking knot on the end of it. And she's standing there holding her hand, like looking at me. What the fuck are you gonna do? I was like, "I'm gonna tell you to leave my store."
Yeah.
I'll fucking shoot you. I was like, "Cool, you leave my store." And I called the cops on her. And then cops came and they talked to her. And they're like, "Okay, you're free to go." And I'm like, "Cool, thanks, guys."
Very helpful.
And look, I get it. She didn't have a gun on her. They didn't hear her say, "I'm going to do it." They had me and my cashier saying she said it, but our cameras don't catch audio, so I couldn't like play the video like, "Hey, listen, words."
Yeah.
But so she left. 2 days later, Alyssa calls me. "Guess who just called my store?" And I went, "Who?" She goes, "Your crazy fucking customer from the other day." I'm like, are you kidding me?"
That's funny.
She was trying to return something without a receipt. They wouldn't let her return without a receipt, and she threatened to come blow the store up. She called the cops on her too. The cop that came to Five Below, same cop that came to her store. And like, yeah, we know she's been kicked out of so many stores. The cops know her by name. Like at this point, you should be able to go to a judge and go, "Look, this person has serious mental issues and needs help. We need a court order from you to make her go get help."
Yeah.
But that's too much work. So, yeah, joy.
Our country's mental health crisis is in shambles. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Welcome to America. But yeah, America, not fuck yeah. But yeah, but we're gonna do this all again in 2 weeks. We're gonna figure in that 2 weeks what the topic of that show's gonna be. It's probably gonna be more random nonsense we do, sprinkled in with some logical conversation.
It's probably gonna be something about how I'm in the process of moving, which is why all my shit's down right now.
All right, yeah, I thought you were moving.
So there's that. So maybe by then be a new place. If not, it'll be the last episode from this place.
Nice.
But either way, I'm gonna go eat chicken.
I'm gonna go in the bedroom and watch Medium.
And I'm
gonna go Medium.
Go Medium. All right.
Start talking ghosts. That'd be sweet.
Maybe we're kind of
God damn
I'm
it.
gonna go explain to my roommates the hilarity that is Thrilly
Sully Wonka
and the dark chocolate factory.
I told you, dude. The first thing I'm doing is cutting that clip out. It's the first fucking thing I'm doing when this show's over. I'm hopping right onto Facebook and editing that clip out, and it's yep,
Do it.
right, do it. Right the fucking TikTok it goes. But guys, enjoy the rest of your nights, and Nick, enjoy the rest of your night because you still have a couple hours left in your night before it's midnight. It's almost 11 o'clock here.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
It's
8 p.m.
11. It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night. No.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.